Hello and welcome to another 4-minute Muppet Madness, your daily summary of everything ongoing Manchester United, all the news from around the world that is worth listening to, and all the happenings. It was maybe almost a quieter day today, even though a lot was going on. No, it wasn't. There was a couple major stories, but mostly official things with the club rather than much to talk about on the front of new transfers and things like that. So let's get right into it. First and foremost, Johnny Evans agreed a new deal at United to stay for another year. He's there training and likely to staying another year. And I think that probably tells us we don't want to sign, 3 center backs, because he signed 3. You have to sell Lindelof and Maguire. And then you'd still have 6 center backs with Evans and Kambuala. Now, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's what you want. I don't think we'll get 3 center backs. I think we'll get 2 at a push if we can convince Euro or get a good deal on Braithwaite, and then we'll move on one of Lindelof or Maguire. But, yeah, Johnny Evans, another year. I'm happy with this. He probably shouldn't play a lot, but happy to have him in a pinch. Big one on this, of course, Jadon Sancho has returned to training with United. Look at that. So he's there, he's training. Big surprise, sort of. As you understand from earlier in the week, as I mentioned, he was due to return and they were going to have some discussions, and it wasn't totally decided what would happen yet, but they wanted to see if it was worth resolving this situation. There hasn't been some substantial offer for him to be sold, so something has to be done, and something was. There's a whole video I put out explaining the whole situation with Jadon Sancho and what has happened, so be sure to watch that. But I think overall a real positive for the club, a win-win, and that is less to do with whether you rate or don't rate Jadon Sancho and just the circumstances surrounding the whole thing. So definitely watch the video for a good explanation. It's only 8 or 9 minutes long. And then Fabrizio Romano said that Joshua Zirkzee, he did his medical this morning. He signed his contract. He is all set. I don't know why he hasn't been announced yet. He was supposed to be announced this evening, but he's not. Something was supposed to be confirmed this evening, but it's not. It doesn't really matter. The new coaches and the coaches departing were supposed to be announced over last weekend. It took like 5 extra days. It doesn't matter. He is a United player. It is all set. He's signed. He's the first one in the door. I hope we get a nice announcement for it soon. And ideally, it probably will be in the middle of the night for me and sometime in the morning tomorrow or who knows. It doesn't really matter. He's signed. He's all set. We move on. Then Fabrizio Romano shared this, and this is just kind of a follow-up, but there is news in this. He says that Manchester United are planning to make the decision on Sofyan Amrabat next week. They still have the option to buy, but I feel like the option to buy is a bit higher than they want to pay for him. The internal decision will be made soon next week. He would like to join United and leave Fiorentina, of course. This one concerns me just a little bit because you wouldn't want to, if you were to trigger the option or buy Amrabat, does that say you're not buying elsewhere in the midfield if you do that first? I feel like they should be focusing on getting another midfielder in if they're to buy him. And I will say that again, as I understood it, a while ago they decided they probably didn't want to keep him. And then it's kind of opened up. And apparently, maybe they do. And I mentioned this in a recent video. So I don't know where it stands or where they're leaning at this point in time, frankly. I have no idea, but I guess we're about to find out. And that about does it for the meaningful news today. Otherwise, a lot of little follow-ups. Greenwood still deciding. Napoli maybe coming in for him. But a lot of little things like that. Still working on the other signings. Still working on De Ligt. Still working on Euro. Still working on Braithwaite. Otherwise, not too much by way of significant or important news. So that's what we have for this Friday. We'll wait for, obviously, the announcement of Zirkzee, and then we should get, it seems like, some sort of decision about Sofyan Amrabat early next week. And then, obviously, we want to get this progress on the center backs sorted out as well. So that's what we have. And that should wrap it up for today. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on. See you in the next one.